Boom. Hi, everybody. This is first kickoff announcement and some detail about our amazing cruise that we're looking to do in 2025. So we're going to run through a little about the ship, not much about the itinerary because, man, we can spend hours on that, and go through the pricing too. As everyone knows, I have a great relationship with Motorways, and I'm able to get partial ship charter rates, and I it's going to be the best around. And I just want to make sure that I say hello to those couples who couldn't be here tonight because they have other things going on. Robin and David Waters, who live local here. Pete and Carol Pino, who don't live local here. They live in North Carolina, and they've been on the last two as well. Robin and David, it will be there first. John and Amy Pregelman, they currently live in Denver. They'll be back in Memphis soon, and this will be the first, if they can come.
If they choose
If
to
they
come.
choose to come, if they're able to come, it will be their first. Sheila and Arthur Palter, that's Kimberly's auntie.
Aunt, yeah,
Aunt
auntie, yep.
and uncle.
We've invited them.
They were on the first one we
We'll
did.
see.
And Andrea and Jim Keen.
Yay! Hopefully everybody will come.
Yeah. Okay. So here we go. Bum, ba-da-da-da-da-da. And at any time, if you have a question, just bring it. All right. I just want to give a quick rundown of the itinerary because I had the incorrect end date. I had in the original PDF, it said we fly home the 22nd, we fly home the 21st, unless you want to stay. Or like last year, no, years ago.
Miss all your flights and stay.
No, with Polly and Sam, right? We got stuck in Bucharest.
Yeah.
And it wasn't half bad. We had a great time. All right, so we depart the US on the 7th. Of course, it's an overnight flight, and we will spend 3 nights in Lisbon. And we transferred to our cruise ship, the Amavita, and then we transferred to Madrid. It's a bit of a farther trip, and then we spent 3 nights there, and then we fly home the 21st, and we'll feel like we've been away for years because we really get into the ship. Kind of feels like our home for the week, and the hotels on both ends, and we're looking forward to having a cruise director as adorable, as wonderful, as friendly. What was her name? Good Lord.
Diana.
Oh, I know.
Diana. Yeah. So understand that we get the cruise director. She actually meets us there at the minute we arrive at the first hotel, and she stays with us the whole time. And on occasion, we'll have a cocktail with us too. All right.
Stuart, just really quickly, since this is Jeff and Kelly's first cruise, that there's the pre and post cruise like option that you've reviewed. So maybe just so that that's clear, if you don't mind.
Right. You can do the pre and the cruise. You can do the post, the cruise and the post. You can just do the cruise. You can do the pre, cruise, and post. All options. We'll get the breakdown for you.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And please slow me down so that if some Jeff, and Kelly, if something you're like, wait, what? Just, you know what I'm saying? And we will have more Zoom calls so we can really go into the itinerary and you get a feel for it.
Perfect.
Okay. Okay.
Sounds
So
good.
the Amavita, she is intimate, right? 102 guests when she sold out. So she's really intimate, really beautiful. And of course, you can go online and see all the pictures you want. And what I want to do is just go through the categories here so that when you see the pricing, you know where they're located. Something I do want to mention is that all the staterooms on the Porto deck and the Lisbon deck have balconies, and they are not French balconies. They are walkout balconies. So just letting you know that. All right, so let's go with the first. There are 2 suites, 300, you see it right there, 323 square feet. And yeah, I've never stayed in one of them. They're huge.
They're an option.
Yeah, it's an option. Then we go on the same deck. We have the category A, And these are, let me just move this over so I can see it. They're all have the walkout balconies, 215 square feet. And something that I want to bring to your attention is that unlike the ship we run last year, 2022, the staterooms on the Lisbon deck are exactly the same size. Exact same size, 215 square feet with the same walkout balcony. So just want to let you know that. And Jeff and Kelly and for David, Rob, and everybody who have not been on before, please take a look at the layouts of the staterooms. And they're all, by the way, Jeff, they're all shared bathrooms. Men and women share the same bathrooms.
That's a joke.
Oh, Stuart.
I
got you. I'm paying attention, Stuart.
I had it right. All right. On the Douro deck, you've got categories D and E, and they're exactly the same layout. Why they're categorized differently, I'm not really sure. 161 square feet, no balcony, but a panoramic window. And if you've never seen what the panoramic window looks like, it's important that you see it, because it's basically when you're standing up, the window standing up. Well, for Kimberly, the window will be up here. For the rest of us, sorry, the window will be here, and you can see out, and because you're lower down on the ship. All right. And at the end of the day, it's just where you're located, but you get everything else that's included. So regardless of where you stay, you will get all the goodies, which I'm about to reveal. Jeff, we good?
Yeah, absolutely. We are good.
Okay. Now, these are the staterooms I currently have on hold. You don't need to write them down. I'm going to save it in a PDF, and I'm going to send it out to you. When I say these are the staterooms that are on hold, when you do a partial ship charter, you literally reserve specific rooms. So you can either pick from the inventory that I have, or if there's a stateroom that you just desire, and then I can go back to Amur Waterways and I can see if I could swap out. Or if anybody wants the Douro deck or the suites, just let me know. The quicker you let me know, no pressure, but yeah, then the more opportunity we have to reserve it, because I have to swap. I have a total of 10 rooms. And also I took 10 because I think there may be the opportunity, as you talk this up to friends or other family, who knows, it could grow. But at some point, any unsold staterooms, I need to give back before I pay for them, which I do up front. All right, so that's what's on hold. Now, review of what's included. Now, our frequent cruisers here know all this, and Jeff and Kelly, we could spend the entire hour talking about the inclusions. And I know that Dave and Sarah, you guys see each other all the time, you talk, they can go through it. So 3 nights accommodations in Lisbon, transfers, tours, and a breakfast. So on the land, there's 1 tour a day that's included. There's a hotel breakfast that's included. They're usually beautiful buffets, and the transfers. And if you take their air, Amur Waterways air, all the transfers are included. We'll talk more about that another time. So when I say transfers, you would only get the airport, the Lisbon airport, to the first hotel if you book the air. You can also purchase the transfers separate if you do not wish to take Amur Waterways air. I do not have a quote for the air yet, but I have a request in for them to give me an idea of what it's been this year, what it's been, what it's next year, because they haven't been published yet. But I can certainly give everybody an idea based on your gateway, because we're going to have Minnesota, we're going to have New York, and we're going to have Memphis.
And North Carolina.
And North Carolina. Hopefully.
And maybe Florida if Sheila and Arthur come,
Right.
and any of their friends.
Yep. Now, by the way, Jeff and Kelly, not going to go into this now, but the hotels that they use are first-class properties in city center.
Nice.
Really top notch. really top notch.
Yeah. We've only had amazing hotels.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Then they transfer us to the and in here you definitely get the transfer even if you didn't book their air. We're going to go on the 7-night cruise for the Amavita, and there's so much included on the Amavita. I've just summed it up here. Of course, you can see it online on the Island Waterways website. All the dining, which is gorgeous. Everything is procured locally and prepared right on board. If you're an early riser, my favorite place is to take a walk on the sun deck, and you could smell the bread baking. It's every day there's at least one excursion that's already included. And this is where the fun gets, because you'll see that maybe all of us will pick this particular excursion. Maybe this group goes here, this group goes here, this group is here. You know, there's this beautiful flow. You pick what you want to do, and you end up making new friends. But we will have the opportunity to pick which excursion you want, for sure. And for lunch and dinner, beer, soft drinks, and wine are included, unlimited. And they have the best coffee machines in the business, because if you get up early, espresso is fabulous. And then after the cruise, we're going to transfer to Madrid. Once again, transfers included. There's one city tour per day. The hotel breakfast is included, and then we fly home. But we're talking about what is included. The numbers you're about to see, and I do a breakout for you, will include the port charge, which is $231 a person, $462 a couple. And I think it's a convenience thing. We just do the prepaid gratuities. Doesn't mean if you love someone to pieces that you can't, strip them a little more. I haven't used that word in a long time. Strip them.
Strip 'em?
Get it?
I didn't think Stup was that. I thought Stup
Yeah,
was.
yeah, strip somebody a couple of.
That's not my understanding of what Stup is, but that's okay.
And there's
Usually it's not giving more, right? It's usually taking off. No, just kidding.
all right. What's not included? And I did not make this comprehensive. I just wanted to give you just an idea. The airfare. I don't know what the airfare is yet, but I'll try to find out an estimation. Travel protection insurance, which everyone who's done it before knows that it's just consider it part of your package. And I will give you a company if you want to book it through a company I do business with. If not, you can book it. You can reserve it anywhere you want, but it's really important. Gratuities for drivers and tour guides. So yeah, we're gonna have a pocket full of change. I'm not, and we'll talk about money conversions before we get there. You probably want to do that before we get there too, at your local bank. Definitely want to have pockets full of some, for the drivers and the tour guides. And of course, items of a personal nature. You may want to, if you're John, you may want to buy this giant piece of what was it?
Gingerbread.
And of course there's actually I didn't check it. I didn't check to see if there's a masseuse on board. Typically
There's a spa. So
there's a-
yeah. So there will be.
One of the pictures was somebody getting a massage.
Thank you, Elise.
Well, I know that Andrea had, I think, 2 or 3 massages on hers. She's
Wow.
Yeah.
She's
I'll be
about to
filling in
massage.
case there isn't one, so don't worry about it, Stuart.
Thank you, David.
Yeah.
Can't wait to have your hands on my oily back.
That's
All right,
okay.
here we go.
Okay.
You don't need to write them down. I'm going to send you the PDF. Let's just walk through it. First column, the categories, then the deck. I tried to keep the colors consistent. The third column, that's the cruise price per couple. Everything's in per couple. And then the pre-land and the post-land are exactly the same price.
Mm.
And the rates for the land, the pre and the post, they gave me 2024 rates, and I was still able to discount them. So I think we got a really good deal on that as well. Then the gratuities, the port charges, all per couple, and there's your totals. Okay. And again, if you just want to do the cruise, you can. if you want to just do the Lisbon and the cruise, or the cruise and the Madrid, you can. It's all optional. So just I want you to keep your eye on that. What I do want to do is just show you 2 more columns, which you can see all this information for yourself anywhere online or on the AMA site. Those are the published brochure rates. And they do have an early booking. They always have an early booking deal. I think it's, I don't remember offhand, maybe $200-300 off per person. So you can see our savings are substantial. I always like to show everybody up front. And when I say plus, that means like with the land portion, I was able to get 2024 rates, which would be lower than 2025. Okay. Any questions on the numbers? Okay. So next steps, pick your stateroom, invite friends, because it's really important for me, and no pressure. I just have a feeling, as they've told me too, that the ship's going to sell out. They actually have a brand new ship coming in a commission called the Ama Sintra. And we didn't pick her because she's going to do round trip Porto. And in order for us to do the Madrid add-on, we're going to do the one way. Okay.
So when you say invite friends, like, are there a lot, like, what does that mean to you? Is that several couples? Is that like, what does that look like to you?
Anybody you think is fun and interesting who would belong to this wonderful group who you think would have a good time?
Yeah. Kelly, it's a very strict rule. If you're going to bring friends, they have to be fun and interesting. If they're not, if you can't check the box on both, we don't want them. It's simple.
Totally fair.
But it's one of those things where sometimes you tell people, they're like, oh man, I've always wanted to do it, da da da. And
Right.
it's also one of those things where the earlier I know, I can be sure not to give back a stateroom before I pay for it. Oh,
And I would say the last 2 cruises, we had 20 to 22 people, 20 to 24 people total in our group, 24,
did we? Yeah.
something like that. So that's it's a good number. Like we have room for some more couples, and it's still,
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. Thank you.
So my role is to answer all questions. So everybody's got my number, myself, whatever, just call, ask me anything you want, and I will get you answers. Excuse me, if I don't know the answer immediately. I am working on the deposit and payment schedule. We got time. And we can work it out in payments, whatever anybody wants to do. The credit card payments are going to go directly to Amur Waterways. So I would take that information and I would give it directly to Amur Waterways, because I'm going to work with a charter person there. And then I will schedule a future series of Zoom calls so we can really talk about the itinerary and the tours and just knock around some ideas. And I just want to bring this up. We could talk about this offline, but I know Dave and Sarah might be interested in what, I don't know if AMA offers the wine tours that you were interested in. If they don't, I can look into what's called a reciprocal operator, somebody who's local, who specifically, they live there, they do nothing but local wine tours. So we can do custom stuff like that too. Just let me know.
Why only David and Sarah?
Oh,
Those are the first ones that were
Look
interested.
at that lovely picture.
David
They're bougie.
Okay.
there it is.
Sure, everybody's included in that.
Yeah, that's the first night on our 2022 cruise, the Ama Verde, right? The Ama Verde?
Yeah.
The Ama Verde.
And that down.
What's that? Oh, and the this ship, they're ships that are based on European rivers, actually have a private restaurant that you can dine in one time. It's called the Chef's Table. Our new ship, the baby, Amavita, does not have a private restaurant, so that's not going to be an option. But I think this is just one of the best pictures ever. That's the first night. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love the picture there. That's picture window, whatever you want to call it. That's kind of cool.
Oh, and I particularly like the hanging balls. with
I
I
wasn't
gotta
gonna
get-
say anything. I was
I
trying
gotta-
to.
Oh,
fight.
brother.
Stuart's very into the hangy ball.
yeah, I mean, and there's three of them too. So it's fascinating. And oh God, there's one hanging lower. So there you go.
Yeah, oh my God.
Boom.
Now you really know what you're gonna be getting when you come on this cruise with
All
us.
right, all right. That's
I'll be there
awesome.
all week.
Yeah,
I think you're missing the fact there's 3 of them too. So if you got an extra one, there's a problem.
Yeah, that's a
Right.
problem. Well, that's a lot of testosterone.
Stuart's
Uh,
got a lot of problems. That's just maybe one of them.
All right.
all right, let me pause and see if anybody has any questions that we can talk about now.
I have a question, Stuart, that pertains to the part where we're talking about the wineries.
Yeah.
Do you mean that within the 7 days, instead of doing an excursion, you would work with the company to do something then, or are you thinking in addition, before or after? Like how does that work?
Honestly, you would drive that train in terms of if there's a particular city, a particular location, whether it's Lisbon or Madrid or somewhere along the way on the cruise, where you have that interest.
Mhm.
Then my first go-to would be Alma, because a lot of times they can do it. They can set it up, right? That would always be my first preference. Second preference is I have access to fully approved and vetted operators who do that kind of stuff, who I have no problem recommending because I'm familiar with how they've been vetted. So really, you drive that. If you, as you look at the itinerary, if you see that, hey, there's not an excursion here, or you want to spend more time at a particular vineyard, then I'll look into it.
Are the excursions like typically all day excursions, or are they usually part day
Usually half.
excursions? Half day?
A
Yeah,
variety.
yeah, they really vary. Sometimes it's a couple of few hours. So it could be a half day. A lot depends on what the activity is, how far away it is from the ship.
Right.
It really varies. That's why sometimes you can even do 2, but usually it's 1. And it's a great question. And by the way, I didn't even check to see if these ships have bicycles, only because it's a different, completely different river. Typically, onboardies have bicycles on board that you can take and that's you can take it as an excursion with a leader, or you can just take it and just.
Yeah, I'm gonna say like some days, like one day you could do a bicycle tour in the
Mhm.
morning, and then at night there was a winery.
Oh, nice.
Or it's a hike to whatever, and then you get to go into the town for the rest of the day or something like that. You know, it's variety. Visit a castle.
And you
know.
said the excursions are part of the package. It isn't an additional a la carte charge.
Yeah. What's great is you see the price point.
Right.
It's higher because it's
All inclusive.
Yeah, I hesitate to say all.
Okay.
I like to say more. It's more inclusive, so
Right.
that there, if you, and sometimes they offer an extra excursion that you can pay for,
Sure.
but they don't. There's no hard sell. It's really chill. The cruise director gives a presentation usually the day before we go to a port, so you get a little bit of history, get some knowledge, and let me think if there's anything else. No, okay, that answered that question.
Perfect.
Hey, Stuart, I was looking at the schedule. So I couldn't quite tell from the schedule, what's kind of just give me a sense of like, what's the longest time on the boat? Like I'm used to the other typical cruises, like a day at sea, but it doesn't look like we have any of that. What's the longest time we're on the boat kind of thing?
So on this itinerary, we will not be traveling at night. On all the other itineraries, we will do a lot of traveling, either upriver or downriver, overnight. Because the proximity is shorter, we can travel by day from city to city. So I actually have the precise itinerary with the nautical times of exactly how long we're in each port. It's in my contract. I
I'm
will
gonna
do-
hold you accountable to that, by the way.
What's that?
I'm gonna hold you accountable to every minute that we're there.
Yeah, but they take that seriously because they pay for you. They
I'm
pay
sure
for,
they-
yeah, you can imagine. So I will share that with you so you can see just how long we're in a city. And one thing I did want to mention is some of the excursions that are included, if they are scheduled over the lunchtime, they
Mhm.
provide lunch. And
Sure.
this last cruise, man, we had some really spectacular off the ship lunches too. In fact, I sure hope at least one day is a day we can call the
The
day
day of eating.
the day of eating, where they prepared, there was so much food.
The day of eating, I love that.
It was crazy
Yeah.
and delicious. Yes.
I love it.
What else?
So, Stuart, will you be taking a week of rest from running and physical activity and just be totally down and chill?
100%.
Except for the hiking or the bicycle
Oh,
ride.
of course. Yes, yes. I love that. Yeah.
And the dancing.
And the
Ooh.
dancing. But there is a small fitness room that Polly always uses, right? There's a small.
You can
tiny
almost
fitness
turn
room.
around in it.
Yeah.
Almost do a jumping jack.
Anybody who must work out, there is a small workout room. So there's accommodations for everybody and everybody's lifestyle.
Gonna have our own yoga class up on the sun deck.
Right. Yoga classes
There we go.
Yeah. You led one, didn't you lead one?
on the first river cruise with
Yeah,
Liz.
I remember that.
Yeah, and so they have there's always a welcome captain's party, and there's the day of great eating, and then there's usually up top they'll do an ice cream bar one day. They just do these
And
pop
when
up
you're
things.
floating along the river and you're up on the deck and you're looking at the world going by, it's magical. I mean, it's magical. And
Awesome.
there is I mean, this is a smaller ship, but there's a walking deck on top too.
Yes, 100 times around is a mile.
100 times around. And you're
And-
looking at the world go by.
Can you also talk about the Olympic sized pool?
Nice.
Yeah,
Love it.
we'll talk about that the next Zoom call. Yeah,
All right.
there actually is a heated pool up top, as you've probably seen, and it can fit one person at a time. No,
I always go in the pool.
I don't know.
I'm always the one in the pool.
So I'll ask, but I realize that we're all supposed to check in our cell phones before we leave the trip, and we'll get them back at the end of the trip. But is there, do we have like the ability to communicate back home with, in our case, maybe our kids, that sort of thing?
So that's a great question. Wi-Fi is free. And the reason is because you get what you pay for.
Yeah.
Pretty dead Wi-Fi.
Sometimes it works splendidly, but when you're
Yep.
in between ports, in between cities, not so much.
Right.
Once you're in the
Perfect.
port, then there's
Yeah.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. Sounds
And-
good.
And we have found that, especially in Europe, there's a lot of cafes that offer free Wi-Fi too, if you really needed it. But honestly, I think in all the cruises we've done,
It's never been an
it's
issue.
never really been an issue.
Yeah, it would just, I know for us, it'd just be the occasional check-in with the family back home, but that's about it.
Sure.
Oh, another cool thing is they give you postcards, right, John? A
Ooh,
free
nice.
postcard, and they
Nice,
post
John.
them and they mail them back to, so you can get everybody jealous.
Ah, love it.
yeah.
Except we do go by what happens on the river cruise stays on the river.
There you
cruise.
go. There you go.
Have to agree on what we tell the other people.
I love it.
Anything
How
else?
How big is the ship, Stuart? Like how many staterooms are there, did you say?
He went through all that earlier.
Yeah, oh,
So
sorry. I
we'll-
missed that.
I'll go through it.
That's fine, yeah.
I'll show it to you.
Yeah.
Yep. We're all good. I'll show it to Kelly after.
Cool.
All right, are we good?
We good?
I
Yes,
think
we're good. I'm excited.
I'm so
Absolutely.
excited.
I know, absolutely. Cannot wait. This is gonna be
Okay.
great. So
All right.
really
All right,
excited.
My next step is I'll convert it to a PDF, send it out to
Sure.
everybody, and then we'll schedule the next meeting. But as soon as you get that from me, if you happen to already know a
Mhm.
particular stateroom you want, whether I already have it in my inventory or not, just let me know. So we can put a name to it and move forward. No pressure, just putting it out there. All right.
Love it.
I want to be in the room next to Dave.
Thanks, Polly. Because you want to knock Morse code on the wall.
Oh, she wants to hang out and visit with me.
Well, yeah, that's really it, Dave, but we can say it's about you. We can say it.
That's usually how it works.
I'll let you know when we decide, Polly, where we're gonna be.
Just put us next to them, Stuart, and we'll be good.
Perfect.
Writing that down.
All right, everybody. Thank you for
All
being
right.
here. This is
Thank
the
you.
official kickoff.
Really appreciate y'all. See
Bye,
ya.
guys.
So much.
Guys.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Uh,